Okay. Looks like we're live. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for being here for this Global Light Grid activation. I just really wanted to start dropping in weekly with this, and I was trying to get on and I had a little bit of login problems. So I'm here now. And yeah, I was really feeling with David Wilcock's passing and his request for more people to do global meditations, that instead of spontaneously doing the global light grid activation when guests could come on, that I want to find my groove with a regular weekly drop in for the global light grid meditation activation grounding. So doing that on my own, and then when guests come on, it might be the same time frame, or it might be a time that suits them. So I think it's just really going to be spontaneous, depending on what's going on. So just coming in fresh this morning from just doing a little bit of a workout and then having some breakfast. And now I'm on here before I get ready for the rest of my day. And yeah, this global light grid activations really started last year with the wanting to bring guests through and myself with what it is anchoring that grounding energy for us all, that stabilizing energy for us to be grounded on the planet, grounded on Earth. Um, and also to feel that we have the ability to integrate what we're processing through the global light grid as well, through grounding in and connecting, and what we're experiences we're having, if we're doing different meditations or whatever processes we're doing, that we're feeling that we're able to ground that and bring that down onto the earth, into the earth, through us, and have it anchored so that we can feel whole and regulated and move with ease on planet Earth. And that's might feel challenging with everything that's going on at the moment. Feeling with the um, aspects that are happening globally, that it's more important now than ever that we get on together and meditate and connect and speak with each other. And I was having a conversation a couple of days ago with a friend who I haven't spoken to in a few years, and just because schedule and time zones, and yeah, we finally got a time to get on and chat. And there's, this like political aspect that's coming up, and we're not here on this platform, well, in this capacity on Global Light Grid Activation to speak about those things directly. But I think that it's important now than ever that we actually understand more about politics and what's happening in different policies and global this. And I have even not connected into that over the years, because there's a whole like, oh, we don't talk about politics, you don't share your politics with your friends or your family, you don't talk about it, even when you're voting in secret, and you don't know, if you're not talking about it, you don't know who your friends are voting for, who your parents, your family, your kids, your siblings, and I think that 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 saying, wherever it came from, we don't talk about politics. I mean, because it can get heated in arguments and it can cause family rifts and everything. So sometimes I guess it is easier to not talk about it. But the fact that we didn't talk about it for me meant I didn't need to know about it, because we're not talking about it then. I don't need to know. That was my attitude when I was younger, because, other things. And yeah, it feels more um, important now than ever to start to understand the political landscape in your own country, and then how that is globally as well. And it's a big thing to kind of like open yourself up to. Um, but I think it's important to talk about politics and actually be a grounded, regulated human and speak about things with people so that you can articulate and be passionate about and the people and we can take our power back by actually understanding more comprehensively what's happening. And I'm speaking this for me because I have just not. Because if we're not talking about it, then I don't need to know about it, but actually we should be talking about it. So the Global Light Grid Activation is here for the 5 pillars that I've created around it. And the first one in the center is heart coherence. So feeling that heart space energy. So if we are communicating about, the political landscape, then we're coming from that grounded heart coherence perspective. We're not even though it's an intellectual subject, we've got the heart coherence reference so we can like frame it in a more ground when we're relating to other people or, having a discussion with other people. And this is part of like regulating our human is like, how can I have a discussion or a heated, in-depth conversation around, these different viewpoints and not get triggered, not be fired up, not feel like I have to like speak over the other person or, just disrespect the other person because of their values and their beliefs aren't in alignment with my own. But how do we have these conversations where we can find commonalities so that we can like build our society up rather than feeling like we don't talk about politics means that we're separated. Like we don't talk about politics means that everyone's quite divided and separate, and it's a secret thing that you don't speak about with other people. And so it's like, how can I speak about these things from my heart coherence? The other pillars are focused illumination. So feeling like we've got that focus on what it is that's important, that's pivotal, this focused illumination on what we want to shift and change, and where we want to direct our guided intention. When we're grounding into the earth, when we're doing the meditations, and when we're also feeling into like where we're sending our energy on the planet, this focused illumination. And then we have bridging the gap. So feeling that we're bridging the gap between groups of people, we're bridging the gap between the energies, and we're bridging the gap between our conscious expansion as well. So where we feel that we are on our journey of understanding the political landscape better, and how that impacts me, how that impacts my family, my community, how that impacts on the global scale. So feeling that bridging the gap is helping us to relate to other people better. And then we have anchoring the new earth energies. I feel like the new earth frequencies, we have this new world order that is, spoken about and being perpetuated. And I feel like the new earth frequencies is the rising collective consciousness of, aware, coherent, awakened, but just like not even awakened, just like grounded, regulated, people who understand their emotions, who know how to communicate well about what they're feeling, what they're understanding about what's happening in the world. They are, yeah, coherent and present as well. So feeling that this like anchoring these new earth energies is new earth frequencies is about being a healed, but I don't like the word healed. For me, it's about having a regulated nervous system, being in the present moment, being grounded, and being coherent. So feeling like you're really like articulating how you're thinking, feeling, understanding, and you can relate to the people around you. So feeling that we are in that those new earth frequencies of communicating all of those things through our heart chakra, through our heart coherence. So we're connecting properly to other people. We're not making assumptions. We're not deciding what's happening without gaining all the facts and objectively assessing the situation rather than just like making a decision about something, a blanket statement, and then disregarding whatever else comes after that, right? So we feel that we are able to process what's happening around us in a regulated way. So that new earth energies is a regulated, grounded, present, coherent human that is on the planet. We're not disassociating because there's a war and there's a fuel crisis, and we're not disassociating and flying into panic mode because the price of this and the price of that, because that's what the system thrives on, because then it keeps us on the mechanism that just keeps on, you know, the rat race. And then the fifth the fifth pillar is dismantling, shattering, and dissolving current global paradigms. So, feeling that with all of these aspects that we're building to be able to do this aspect of it. We're operating from our heart coherence with focused illumination. We're bridging that gap. We're bridging the gap of understanding in ourselves or with others. We're anchoring those new earth energies. We're grounded, regulated, coherent, and in the present moment, focused. Then we are dismantling and dissolving, shattering, dissolving those current global paradigms. So what are those aspects that we're plugging into that are like a global saying that is like we're in a economic crisis, or we're in this or in that, or the global economy is this or that? How are we plugging into what we call the inverted matrix, like the negative aspect of like something that we have the ability to experience? So how are we shattering those current global paradigms? And I think if we do that from a state of being dysregulated, unfocused, stretched across time because we're scattered, we've got fractured consciousness, then if yeah, it's almost like we can't get into the state to even comprehend doing that, because we're so like caught up in our own like neuroses and our own like ruminating, just like toxicity that's just like permeates into our life. So if we can feel clear in our clear channel, and our channel is our thought process, like whatever comes through your thought process is your channel. You're constantly always channeling, like over 50% of your thoughts are not your own. They are aspects that we gather and that come to us from externally. So when we can become a clear channel, then more awareness, more ideas are available to us so that we can access and drop into those. So I have my Shadow Alchemy series on YouTube here for free. It's a 7-day playlist. It's got a guide through integrating your masculine and feminine. You're balancing your anima and your animus energy, and you are then processing through these internal shadow aspects of like igniting and going through the dark night of the soul. And we go through the dark night of the soul. A lot of the time it's spontaneous when we're younger, but as we get more aware of our own life and our own process, and we can understand what's happening around us, we can almost like not force a dark night of the soul, but guide ourselves through it intentionally and take ourselves through an intentional dark night of process, which is a shadow work process. So we have a framework and we have a pattern or a blueprint that we can operate from, and that's what the Shadow Alchemy series is. And then that leads into Shadow Alchemy Codex, which is a program that's available on my platform that I use through my website and community. And so if we can like do these shadow work processes, which is essentially like mining, we're data mining for the gold that's within the shadow because we shut down so much in ourselves, which is gold, so much of our personality we lock away because we've been ridiculed or hurt. So it's not always just the shame or the guilt or the fear or those aspects that we lock away in the shadows, but quite often it's like really beautiful aspects of ourselves that we also hide. And so this mining, which is quite cool, that the Minecraft is quite popular now because I feel like it's Minecraft. We're like we're mining, we're Minecrafting, the shadow work, the shadow alchemy is a craft. We want to mine inside us for what those things are. And if we can like objectively look at what they might be and have a blueprint and have a process and then allow ourselves to go into the emotion with a framework, then we can like have the potentiality to move through those things a lot faster rather than like ignoring them, just feel like it's a niggling thing that I know that I'm going to need to process through, but I don't. And then it builds and builds, and then eventually there'll be a fracture point, and there'll be a dark night of the soul that arrives seemingly out of nowhere, but there were like little warning signs along the way that we shut down and ignore. So if we're in our heart coherence, we're grounded, regulated, then when those things happen, we know, we understand, can see what's coming up. We have the ability to process through them a lot quicker. So then we can be active, participating humans in society. We can understand politics better. We can understand the global landscape better, how I am contributing to what's happening on the earth so that I can then play into the bigger global picture because of my um, uh, elevated but like expanded but grounded perception of everything. When we're in our shadow and we're like constantly, yeah, just like looping in our neuroses, we're looping in our cycle. mm, we don't have the capacity to comprehend like all of those bigger global structures of what's happening. So then if we get ourselves into that intellectual state, and quite often when we're younger, we are criticized heavily for our intelligence, or you're not smart enough, or you're not intelligent enough to do that, or your grades aren't good enough to actually do what you want to do in life, so you can't get into that course, or you can't get into that level of that because you're not smart enough. So then we have this, well, I had this, you have the shutting down of like, oh, I'm not smart enough to do those things. So I'm not smart enough to comprehend the scale of what's happening fully and understand, the dynamics of this, that, and the other. And so, yeah, really feeling that we have the ability to shift that. So let's go into meditation. Now, do I have some water with me? I don't. I know and understand that this is not going to be in the copper for long enough to infuse it, but that's okay. That's the vessel that I have sitting there at the moment. So yeah, if you find yourself in a comfy space, I prefer sitting up for any meditation. I think it's much better for internal visualization, internal processes, having a coherent stream of downloads because you are in alignment with the energy flow of being a conduit for light, conduit for energy coming through you. And so, yeah, you're like more of an open channel to receive. So if you stay sitting up for this, especially because we're grounding light down into the global light grid, we're activating it. So we want to be a vertical channel. So stay sitting up, but just get comfortable there. I'm going to put my little blanket around me. I'm just closing down your eyes and dropping into your breath, feeling your breath, that life force energy that fills your lungs, and feeling the air around us actually holds consciousness. When we breathe in, it is activating our consciousness. Then that life force energy pulls down into your lungs, and you feel your belly expand and your diaphragm shift to allow more air into your body. And feeling as that consciousness arrives into your lungs, that airflow, the life force energy. The air is associated with wisdom, intellect, intelligence. Feeling the air flow through your nostrils and out through pursed lips. And feeling your thought processes in your mind, your consciousness resides in your mind, feeling that dropping down into your heart space. And with your consciousness in your heart space, this is how we activate this heart coherence. We're connecting the heart and the mind. And so just feeling that breath that's surging from through your nose, down into your belly, past your heart. And with your consciousness in your heart, feel that airflow and that consciousness just anchoring into your heart. And with that consciousness staying in your heart space, we want to spiral some airflow up into our brain and into our head without our consciousness going up there. Feeling as we breathe into our lungs, sending airflow. It's like a figure eight around our heart, up into our head, back down through our throat and around our heart again. Just feel this airflow running around this figure eight. It's coming up over your crown and down through your throat, wrapping around your heart. And so just running this airflow, it's almost like we are airing out our mind space. And feel that airflow wrapping around the back of your skull, where the reptilian mind is, right at the back, where it connects to the nape of the neck. Feeling that airflow through that area there, around your pineal gland. And feel that you're doing a big clear out, like when you open all the windows of your home and you do a big clean. Just feel that airing out of your mind space. When we clean our home in this way, we quite often reorganize our bookshelves, quite often reorganize the furniture in our bedroom, in the lounge, change things where they are in the kitchen. And so feel as we are emptying out the mind and clearing through with this airflow, that there's the capacity for a rearrange. Before we rearrange anything, if you've started to do that, that's okay. Feeling in that beautiful space that we aired out, this beautiful spark of golden light that hovers in the center of your mind, your brain, your head space, your skull, where your pineal gland is. Feeling that it's like a star, the brightest star that you see in the night sky, or that morning star, that first star you see in the night sky, or the one that's still shining in the morning. And feeling that bright light igniting that pineal gland, feeling that bright light is opening these different layers of your pineal gland. It's almost like peeling away different layers. I'm feeling that morning star bright light glowing and illuminating. And the top point and the bottom point of the star start to elongate. And you feel the light radiating down into your body, down into your heart, down through the center of your being. And you feel that radiating up and out, up into the sky. And you can feel that this is a beacon of a coherent mind, a coherent, organized, grounded, regulated, present mind. And this beacon is a receiver. And you feel that receiving light drawing down into you, growing in you. And that light travels down your body more and more, down both of your legs. And it just touches on the soles of your feet and it hovers here. It pulls, that light pulls in the bottom of your feet, in your feet chakras. And you feel that light swirling in the soles of your feet, like little solar systems, little galaxies with arms and a center that swirl, and feeling the brightness of these amplifying, and feeling that spiral starts to lose its shape because the brightness of that portal in the bottom of your feet is just opening up just to be one bright color all the way through the soles of your feet, under the arch, this portal, this chakra. And just feel that opening up and that connection to the earth below, feeling that energy flowing through these portals in the bottom of your feet, down into the earth, down into Mother Gaia. In New Zealand, we call her Papa Tuanuku. And sending this energy, this down to your Earth Star chakra. It's a few feet below you. And feeling that connection. Now feel that top of that star elongate further out of your body now. Feel that elongate up and up through the top of your home, out into the sky and past the clouds, into the stratosphere, the ozone layer. It moves beyond these out into space, and you pass the satellites and the moon. Up and up, you pass the planets, through the asteroid belt, up and up past these giant planets of Jupiter and Saturn, and out further and further. And you feel this energy stretching up beyond you, higher and higher, out into space, out of our galaxy, higher and higher past nebula and other galaxies, out higher and higher, up and up and up, and higher and higher. And you stretch up to the top of the universe, the great central sun. And you feel this connection into this collective consciousness, this 5D and beyond consciousness. And you connect into this great central sun energy. You feel the density shift, palpable, like stepping into water or stepping through an energy field. You feel that connection into this great central sun, and all of that energy that's available for you to receive flows down this cord, down and down through you, pulsing down into your body. And as you receive that energy into you, you send it down through your portals in your feet and down into your Earth Star chakra. And you feel this energy pulling below you and below your home and below your Earth Star chakra. It starts to radiate down and out. This Earth Star chakra energy drops down and down and down into the Gaia gateway. Down and down. You send this light energy down into the earth. And you feel from this point of light, your Earth Star chakra and your Gaia gateway, that from each of these points, there's a grid that radiates out from you. This grid radiates out directionally from your Earth Star chakra and from the Gaia gateway. And feeling as you're channeling this energy, you may receive messages for the planet, you may receive love, you may receive understanding, coherence, you may receive guidance, ideas, thought forms that are helpful to you, you may see visions. And feeling this energy drops down in this grid from your Earth Star chakra radiates out from you, out around you, into your community, just under the surface of the earth. And that keeps going and it ripples all the way around the earth. So if you feel your Earth Star chakra is like a four-pointed star on its axis, you feel that the axis that's pointing out away from you. You feel that grid line running away from you and see the landscape beyond where you're sitting. You know the landscape of your community, your town, your city, your country. And so see where that grid expands out to the border of your country. And then see where it expands beyond that into the neighboring country or down into the ocean, under the ocean bed, and feel this grid radiate straight out from you, and it wraps around the whole globe through other countries, under oceans and rivers and lakes, maybe through Antarctica and the Arctic, and feel that it meets up with you again from behind the other side of your Earth Star chakra. This grid line matches and meets you at the back. And so you feel that this energetic loop, this cycle that you've created that's wrapping around, then completes, and you feel it radiate out from your right. And it expands out through your community, your town, your city, your country, into your neighboring countries. And then it expands all the way around the planet and meets you on the other side and connects into your Earth Star chakra. And feel that we can do that for any directionality. And just run those lines. And if you have any downloads, any directionality of energy that you want to send anywhere in the planet, just feel with these grid lines that radiate out from you that Some of these are going to pass through areas where you want it to carry this beautiful light-filled energy. Feeling this activating. Kia taira et siria ti kria taira manai. Kreat sara taira ti kreat siria taira manai right sarai tai with all of us. Wrapping these lines, these grid lines around the planet. They're actually overlapping each other now. And they're creating this connective network. Kind of like how synapses fire together and wire together in the mind, in the brain. This global light grid activation, kind of like the mycelium network. We're creating our own mycelium network by creating this visualization of this grid that runs below the surface of the earth. And some of these can run along the ley lines, of course, if you feel called to work with the specific ley lines, and drop into those specifically. And then also feeling the connectivity to people that you know. You might want to run grid lines between your family, friends, people that you know, people that you work with, people that you collaborate with. Sarata Kratai Ramanite, Siri Diri Krayat Saratai Ramanai. So feeling that we can create this, our own information highway, our own worldwide web of networks that are residing below the Earth's surface in terms of these like informational travel pathways that carry coherent energies like the mycelium network. So feeling that yeah, those lines that we are creating that fire together, wire together. And so we're creating a network of coherent, grounded energy for the earth. And so, if you visualize that this meditation is reaching thousands of people, and if you imagine that thousands of people are also having this process at the same time as you, all around the world, and all of your ley lines that you're creating, your own personal grid lines, are overlapping with each other, and they are only overlapping and allowing that wiring together with people who are radiating the right frequency that you're in alignment with. So if you're fearful that you're going to connect into something that you don't want to, just trust and know that if you have the intentionality, that will only connect into and link into and fire together and wire together with energies that are coherent and in alignment with what you are radiating out. Otherwise, it would bang up against it. It wouldn't even know it was there. Okay, so feeling that all these, if we imagine all these people all over the world are all doing the same process, how many of our own personal grid lines are overlapping. At each point of those grid lines is creating a firing together, wiring together, information network where we can send heart coherence, love, grounding, peace. So all of these that are overlapping in different places all over the world, every continent, every country. These lines, these connection points are going to radiate underneath the earth. And so we can drop peace, love, and understanding into each of these points. And feeling that each of these points then radiates down into the earth, down into the Gaia gateway. And feeling that each of these points has its own Gaia gateway. And we're accessing this Gaia gateway grid that revolves around the center of the earth. If you want to imagine the center of the earth has the crystalline core at the center, this beautiful information, crystalline energy. And feeling that the infusion of conscious love and gratitude radiated down into the earth to elevate and have connection points that are radiating out to bridge the gap so that people who are on the precipice of an awareness, an awakening, a heart activation that has them realize something about something that just drops them into their own integrity, their own aha moment, that this heart grid, heart consciousness, heart coherence, global light grid activation is activating aha moments, a ripple of aha moments around the planet for people that are feeling that they are coming into their own understanding of their life path, what's in alignment for them, what's not working for them globally, the alignments of their life and how they're threading. And so feeling your own aha moments gridding the earth, feeling that those beautiful aha moments are radiating down into the earth. What have we realized? When I operate from anger, frustration, guilt, shame, regret, that I cultivate a toxic reality. That's in a beautiful aha moment. That helped me change my perspective on reality. I'm going to code that into my global light grid and activate that as an access point for people to be able to comprehend and absorb if they are aligned to receive that. I'm also letting the earth know that I've processed through this by dropping this aha moment down into the earth. If I operate from love, neutrality, peace, harmony, trust, then my life unfolds in a beautiful way. These are like the polar opposites of each other. So feeling them oscillating together as a ripple through this global light grid activation. So feel yourself dropping into your global light grid, a potent aha moment that you've had, and see that aha moment ripple through every line. So you're overlapping and intersecting with other people's ley lines. And so this is creating other people's grid lines. It's creating a network where information can travel all around the world. Sarata kraitaire manai tsiria diria dai kraitaire mano sorotoro dai. If I perceive people as annoying, then everyone is going to present to me as being annoying. If I perceive everyone as kind and happy and loving and want to engage with me, then that's what the universe, that's how the matrix will populate my field. So we're getting into the framework of understanding how the matrix works. Instead of exiting from it, we know how to play the game. We're feeling a clearing in your body and your system where these aha moments, you are configuring them in a way that it's helpful for humanity. You're expanding them out as thought forms that other people can then latch onto. If their conscious awareness, if their deep connection with themselves is ready for that process, that transformation, that aha moment to drop in for them, then your thought form will be helpful for them. So if you can fully complete that for yourself and release it, you're allowing someone else to go through that process as well. And so feeling that any thought forms, any beautiful contemplations, any realizations, aha moments, and we want these beautiful positive thought forms, these complete positive thought forms. We can send them down into the global network, this grid that we've created, and that they will be a network, this global network of connection points. So if we want to send directly all of these perception aha moments that we've had, and again, imagining that there's thousands of people doing this meditation all at the same time as you. So imagining all these people all around the world in every single country and every single continent, tira, taira, etsiri, the multiple places in your country, your neighbor down the road, your friend on the other side of the world. We're all doing this at the same time. And just sending the directionality of your complete aha moment thought forms down into the global network and directing it to a place on the planet where you would like that to emanate. And seeing it traveling like a sphere of light along the grid. Maybe it bounces between grids as it makes its way there. And as it makes its way there, other people's spheres are moving around, bouncing around, and some of them that are in alignment, like, oh, this is the same thought form. This is culminating. Both of these people's aha moments are potent together, and they merge together and they grow and they travel and they collect and they develop a bigger, a deeper, a more potent understanding of the complexities of working through our human suffering. And so, feeling if you want to access these thought forms, these can all be coming to you as well. If you want them to be directing towards you, if you want to be receiving these aha moments and these thought forms, allowing them to arrive through your Gaia gateway and up through your Earth Star chakra. And so just feeling that you're radiating some gratitude down through the grid, through the network. And remember to radiate gratitude when you receive a thought form that is helpful to you. A thought form is an idea, inspiration. I think Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney and Prince. Rick Rubin, in his book I'm reading at the moment, speak of it in terms of like a song arriving fully formed in your mind, a melody that arrives fully formed in your mind. You don't have to develop it and sound it out on the piano. It arrives fully formed. J.K. Rowling mentioned that the Harry Potter universe arrived to her spontaneously on a train. It's a thought form arriving, connecting into this egregore of information that's accessible at a certain point in time. And Michael Jackson believed that if he didn't write a particular song, that Prince would get it. And so he got his whole team up in the middle of the night to the recording studio to record a song. While it was channeling through him, he woke up in the night receiving this song. And he believed and he knew that if he didn't write it, that someone else would pick it up from the field of awareness that he was receiving it from. So feeling that we are that antenna, that receiving antenna, and if we are regulated in our nervous system, grounded, present, and coherent, that we are a clear receiver for inspiration and ideas and those positive, helpful thought forms to arrive to. And with that, feeling yourself rubbing your hands together or just moving your body, stretching, taking up space, and knowing that you have that grid running at all times. And I'm going to sign off and leave that energy in that way. So if you want to stay in that energy, if you're drifting off to sleep now, or become more focused and aware if you need to. All right, bye.